So day one was pretty much just introductory lectures. We got to see both lecture halls, and I definitely prefer the one in the medical sciences building. That was all done by 1, so after lunch I just went to the gym for a few hours. Then it was time for dinner, and there's really 3 options at St. Cat's. So there's like just the typical canteen food, which you can go for at 6 o'clock. There's formals, which are at 7:15, and they're like you sit down with 3 courses and the food served to you. Or if you wanted, you can use the kitchens and like cook your own food. And for the first week, I really only went to the canteen just for convenience. And for the rest of the night, I didn't do much else besides just playing some pool. So we only had 1 lecture today, and then straight after that we had our first practical in the lab. That lasted for about 3 hours, and then the main thing I did for the day was go to the Powerlifting Society taster session. Yeah, so the powerlifting thing went really well. There was this like massive guy in there who was benching over 200 kg easily. But I think I'm going to try and get there like once or twice a week. And then when I got back, I just had to do a few hours work for my first tutorial. Again, there was only 1 lecture today, so when I got back, I went down to the gym for a few hours. Alright, so that's the workout done. It's like 2 o'clock now, so I'm gonna have to get some lunch. A bit later, I had to go and get my blood taken for an occupational health check, and then that was pretty much it for the day. So Thursday was definitely a bit busier. We had lectures from 10 till 1, then an hour for lunch, and then 1 more lecture from 2 until 3. And then straight after that, we had our first tutorial, and they're basically just where there's like a small group of you and a tutor, and you'll go over some topics from, say, an essay you've done. So I got an essay set from that for next week, and then for the rest of the day, I really just got dinner and went to the gym. There was just the 1 lecture today, and then we had another practical looking at cells and tissues down a microscope. That was all done by 1, so after getting some lunch and going to the gym, I went into Oxford to get a haircut because there's a pretty big event that's happening tomorrow. So Saturday was the day of matriculation, which is the ceremony where we're officially inducted into Oxford University. The day started with a speech at the college, and then we got a formal lunch before we had to walk to the Sheldonian Theatre, which was a really fancy old building. And in there was another speech and some Latin, and then after that we were officially inducted into Oxford. That took up most of the day, and then my mum and dad came down to visit on the night, so I went out for dinner with them. My mum and dad stayed down for the Sunday, so we went out for the day to Diddley Squat Farm, which is Jeremy Clarkson's farm. You can kind of see this isn't really the typical Oxford weekend, but anyway, I got a burger there, we saw some cars, and I really enjoyed it. I wanted to go for ages. When I got back and my mum and dad left, we got Nando's for dinner, and I really didn't get up to much else. Okay, so that was the first week, and there really wasn't much work, but since then, it's definitely ramped up. I've had a few very late nights finishing essays, but the first term's over now, so all of that was recorded like 2 months ago. I just haven't had time to edit it, and I'm home now for about 6 weeks over Christmas, so I've got a decent amount of revision and work to be doing, but I'm gonna try and be a bit more consistent with the uploads, and thank you for watching.